Hello class and welcome back. We're going to do a really quick assignment. Actually, it's not even an assignment, it's more of an exercise. And I've noticed that sometimes students do struggle with artboards and setting them up and saving them or exporting them. So here we're just going to quickly go through them and hopefully you guys will feel more comfortable working with artboards. So let's start with the artboard. This is the artboard. This is what's going to be printed on or what's going to be shown when you print something or when you save something as a JPEG, PNG, whatever. Let's go ahead and go to the toolbar first. And we're going to go down into the artboard tool. Let's select that. And now you notice the artboard changing. Let's zoom in quite a bit. Okay. So you see the name Artboard 1. On the properties panel, you can see the name here. If you want to change the presets, like the size, you can do that here too. So let's go ahead and just make it a little bit smaller. Not that one. Here you go. You can also change it to landscape or horizontal format and vertical format. Okay, and this is for new artboard. Let's create one. The thing about working with multiple artboards is that you can work on one file instead of multiple files. It comes in handy, especially when you're working with business cards, flyers, anything associated with graphic design. And then we're going to learn about business cards later, and you're going to be able to create yours like in a few weeks. So keep that in mind. The cool thing is you can change the name here. So Artboard 2, we're just going to go number 2 or just 2 if you want to, and then press return. And immediately you see the name change. If you want to change this one, you can select, as long as this is selected, you can select another artboard. And I'm just going to name it number 2 or number 1. Press enter on your keyboard, and there you go. Okay, so let's go to Artboard Options. And here you can also modify your artboard. So for number 1, let's go with 5. And then let's go 5 here. And press enter, and there you go. So after I put in 5 by 5, I press enter on my keyboard. For next, we're going to just ignore all of these. You don't really need to know them. Just the size, the number, and the naming. And press OK. And let me see if I can show. Here you go. On the very bottom, you're going to see a number 1. When you hover over it, it's going to say Artboard Navigation. I don't know if you can see it. Let me go ahead and scooch this up a little bit. There you go. Okay, I'm going to hover over the arrow and it's going to say Artboard Navigation. So you select that. You're going to see Artboard number 1 and Artboard number 2. When you select Artboard number 2, you are going to have the artboard that you selected here be centered. It's going to be the one that you're going to be focusing on and selected. You can jump back and forth. See? You can create more artboards again by going to Artboards on your Properties panel and pressing New Artboard. I'm going to zoom out by pressing Command minus, spacebar to drag, and here are multiple artboards. The cool thing about the Artboard tool is that you can just create as many as you want. You can create them as many sizes as you want, and you could also arrange them. Okay, so let's go ahead and arrange them all. Again, Properties, rearrange all. And you can arrange them however you want. You can change the layout order here and here. So you can get them from left to right or right to left. But let's do left to right. It doesn't really matter. You can choose however many rows you want. 1 row. Let's just do 1. And the spacing is really important because it just makes it look a lot nicer. Okay, and I think that's fine. and then press OK. Let's do it again, and let's change the layout to 2 rows. So it really does depend on how you want them to look like. Head and go to Windows, and you're going to see artboards here too. This is extremely important because you get to rearrange them, you get to move them up and down, you get to create new artboards like this one right here, and it's a lot easier to navigate your artboards. I'm going to trash them in there too. So let's get rid of a couple by pressing on the trash can here. Okay. You get to also order them around. So I'm going to click and drag on one and move into the number 1 spot, and you get to arrange them in odd manners and then arrange them back here. So let's just do, there you go. So it goes by number 1, number 2, and number 3. These guys right here, 1, 2, and 3. Let's go ahead and do it again. And okay. So you can see number 1 is on the number 2 spot because it's in the middle. So it's really easy. Okay, and as for exporting them, again, people need to figure out how to do that. If you're having any issues, please let me know. If you want to practice, keep practicing. Honestly, this is like the best way you're going to learn how to export things. I get tripped up because Photoshop is a little bit different. You know, like I don't know why, it just is. So let's go ahead and practice that again. Let's go to File, Export, and Export As. Okay, so now you have your export. Let's go ahead, and I'm just going to do it on desktop right here. It doesn't really matter. And excuse me, and we're going to go ahead and choose the JPEG right here. And let's go ahead and use Artboards, All, and Range 2. You can range, it's kind of like when you're printing, you can select however many you want. So let's go ahead and change it to 1 and then export. Okay, this looks good, doesn't really matter right now. And now I have just 1 saved. Okay, so for this week, I just want you to practice creating artboards and just exporting them. You don't have to turn them in. It's not a part of an assignment. It's just for people who struggle with saving their artwork. This week, I want you guys to also just focus on your project and make sure you upload them onto your discussion. Participate and talk to your other classmates in the discussion, or else you're going to lose points. Make sure you also don't copy from your classmates. This happened last year. Someone just copied pasted somebody else's answers, and then yeah, it was not great. So please don't do that. Okay, so really quick lesson. That's it for right now, and I'll see you guys next week. All right, bye.